Okay, friends, we're going to work on coloring our dragons with some crayons. You are going to be thinking about analogous colors again with this project. We're going to be mixing two colors together and thinking about that color wheel. So the first thing you're going to do is pick two colors of your choice for your body. These do not have to be analogous. They can be any color combination you want. That is completely up to you. So I'm going to choose maybe a purple and an orange just for mine. Now with these two, you don't want to mix the first set of colors together too much, because if you end up choosing colors that don't mix well together, it's going to make your color look really dark. So for this, I'm not going to mix too much. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pattern with color. You can make a pattern with color in your shapes and designs, or you can just color over gently making a pattern. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. So I'm just starting with the body first, and I'm going to go in with a medium amount of pressure with my first color. I still want to outline shapes and layer things very nicely, okay? So that means I'm going back and forth in different directions. I'm staying in the lines, I'm outlining. So I'm going to go in this direction with a little bit with the purple. And then I might go in the opposite direction, but I'm still keeping it at a medium pressure. If you push too hard to start with your first color, what's going to happen is the second color will not show up very well. So we're just going to keep like a lighter medium value of color. So now I'm going to go in with that orange, and I'm just going to very gently, and I'm trying not to mix too much in the center with these two colors. I'm going to go in with a little bit of orange. Okay, so I've gone in with my purple and orange. It didn't really matter. They didn't have to be analogous. You do want to make sure that it's a color and not a neutral, so brown and gray won't work for this. Okay, so I have that in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the matching color for each one that I want to blend. So I started with my purple. So I need to figure out what is next to purple on the color wheel, because we're going to be using analogous colors. They really work well together. I have either blue or red, so I'm going to pick one of those. All right, so I'm going to go in. Let's see what I have at the top of my bag. I think I want to do I'm going to do pink, because pink is really just a tint of red. Okay, so I'm going to go in that purple now, go on top, and blend with a really heavy amount of pressure so that it shows up in that purple, my second color. You do not have to use the same colors as me. They just have to be analogous. Okay, now I've got my orange. What's next to orange on the color wheel? Yellow or red. So I'm going to pick one of those to blend into my orange. So let's see. I think for this I'm going to do yellow. Perfect. Okay, so I have the body done now. I've got my color mixing. I made sure to choose colors that were next to each other because those kind of colors blend well. I am going to do the same thing in the hair and the head of my dragon. I'm going to start with a color in the head and then go in with a second color and do the same thing with my hair. Okay, my dragon's complete. As you can tell, I cut out my dragon from the paper. I also made sure to finish coloring the hair and the head. I started with my first color and then blended a second color on top that was analogous to that color on the color wheel. So next to orange, I do have some yellow, and next to green is yellow as well on the color wheel, so it worked out great. Okay, so I've got my dragon cut from my paper now. The first thing I want to make sure I do is near the head, write your name. Okay, because what ends up happening when you cut this out of the paper is your name gets cut, and it's very hard to tell which dragon it belongs to. So I'm going to flip him over, and I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut right in the middle of the body. Maybe a little off center it so I have more head. There we go. Now I'm going to take a body piece this is going to end up being glued to your dragon. Now, some of you might have skinnier dragons, so if I take my dragon, he matches up pretty well with the body. But if you have something like this going on where the body's bigger than the dragon, you can always trim the paper so that it fits a little better. So after I have him cut, what I'm going to do is make a xylophone fold. And how that works is you just take about 1/2 inch of the paper on one end and you fold it down, and then you crease really well. This is pretty thick paper, so you want to be really good. Get your nail right in there. Okay, so I fold it down, then I fold it back. So you're essentially making a pattern. You're going back and forth. Now I fold it forwards. I'm creasing. I'm still keeping them together. Now I fold it backwards, and I'm creasing really good. Forward crease, backwards crease. Forward, backwards, and I'm going to keep doing that until I get all the way to the bottom of that paper. And then essentially when I pull it out, I'm going to get something like this. Okay, so I'm now going to take my dragon and I'm going to make it so that the head and the body are still slightly separated like this. Okay, you're seeing the back side of both of them, and I'm going to glue the last section of that xylophone piece to my dragon. Now, if I have to fold my xylophone one more time to make it kind of glue on there easier, you can. So I'm getting an idea where I need to add the glue, so it looks like on this side here. You want to glue it really well so that it does not fall apart later. I'm going to add the glue to that section on the xylophone paper. Okay, we don't want to add it to the dragon because then it might stick to someone's project that is next to yours. And I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to put it on one side, and I'm going to rub it, and I'm just going to rub for about 10 seconds at least so it really sticks on there good. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go figure out where the glue needs to go on this side. All right, and add glue to that. Awesome. And same thing. Rub for about 10 seconds. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'm going to just check it, make sure everything is perfect. Awesome. Okay, so now that I have that done, what I'm going to do is start to add some decorative things below. So if you're looking at my final dragon, on the back of it, there are some popsicle sticks for where I hold the dragon. But I put some of these little strands along the side of the dragon so that my hands are kind of hidden when I'm using them. Okay, also creates a little bit of extra movement when you're using it. So I'm going to have you pick out 2 color choices, okay, of a strip of paper about this size. You are going to cut about a 1/2 inch strip along the edge. Now you can line them up together and cut at the same time. That will help you. So I'm just going to take my scissors and kind of keep them straight. And I'm going to start by just cutting one strip. Okay, so now I have these 2. All right. Now we're only gluing the head and the tail area because this part has to move in the middle. Okay, and that might be a little more challenging. If you have a little extra time, I can help you and show you how to make some decorative options on that area, but we're just for right now going to do the head and the body, the white paper. So what you're going to do is you're either going to make xylophone folds or curls. You can do a combination. I've seen some really cool designs that students have been able to do with folding their paper. You can try folding it on different objects at your seat. I'm just going to show you the basic xylophone and curl that I typically use. So for the xylophone, you've already seen that. It's just like the big piece. You fold it forward, then backwards, forward, backwards, forward, backwards, forward, backwards. And then you'll get something like this. And then what I'll do is I'll add glue to one end. And that'll attach it to the back side like this. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my next color and I'm going to show you now how to do a curl. So you can curl this around your finger if you want, and that will give you like a loose curl. But if you want a tighter curl, if you take your pencil at your desk, you hold one end really tight and you wrap it while still holding it around your pencil. And then gently let go and release while pulling it away from the pencil. You'll get a tighter curl. Okay, I've seen some friends that have even done a combination of a curl and xylophone. Like I've said, I've seen some really cool things. I've seen friends wrap it around different objects. Experiment. So now I'm going to go in with that red, and I'm going to add that next. Okay, so when I'm ready to do my next one, I'm going to make sure that I stack these nice. I cut a 1/2-inch strip coming down this way. And then I'm going to continue to make more folds and curls and make a pattern on the head and then work my way towards the tail. If you get done early, you can add some more decorative things with your leftover paper. You can give him some hair. You can think about adding extras that you want. When mine was done, I ended up getting something like this. I did a pattern with both xylophone folds and curls, and then I also went back and forth with the two colors. So while you guys are working on that, friends, I am going to be hot gluing your handles on your dragon. So at some point I will come to you to get those on. So that is it, and now the project is done.